Phoenix Splash TV. Everyone's favorite J-Rock drummer, Yoshiki. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a pretty big fan of Yoshiki from X Japan, and this isn't the first video I've done with him in it. I think for this week on Musician Spotlight, I just want to focus on the man himself. He's the creator of X Japan and arguably the face of J-Rock. The first X Japan song that I ever heard was Silent Jealousy, and that is one hell of a song to start with. I was primarily a drummer back then, so I focused in on the drums. I actually didn't like it at all at first, and I didn't like him, which is crazy to think back then. Now keep in mind, I just had an audio from some random CD that one of my brothers got from his high school girlfriend, so I had no idea that they were actually Japanese. I actually thought that they were American because of most of Silent Jealousy's lyrics are in English. Once I saw the music video, I was astounded. I was amazed that the drummer was playing the piano in the beginning, and also amazed that the star of the music video was indeed the drummer. After seeing that, I was a fan. That must have been like 7th grade. Since I saw Yoshiki play piano, I started practicing both drum set and piano from there on out. Out of all the musicians and composers that I know, I think Yoshiki probably has the biggest impact on me, and whether you like him or not, you cannot deny the talent that is within this individual. Yoshiki got into music at a very young age. He studied music theory and piano at the age of 4, and at the age of 10 he started composing his own music. So yeah, I guess you can consider him a child prodigy of his time. The pivotal moment in Yoshiki's life was when his father committed suicide. Now if you listen to some of X Japan's lyrics, suicide and depression is one of the main themes of the lyrics. Apparently, rock and roll was the greatest outlet for Yoshiki to deal with his grief. Before this, Yoshiki was on a path of a classical composer, so it's kinda crazy to see how a moment like that totally set him on a different path in life. He formed a band with his childhood friend Toshi. Though names changed and members changed, the two would actually create a foundation for X Japan. There's a rumor going around that Yoshiki actually borrowed money from his mother to start the production of X. Yoshiki actually had to found his own studio, which he titled Ecstasy Records. Ecstasy Records later grew to produce bands like Lunacy, Zilch, and even the soundtrack to the 2007 movie Catacombs. X Japan would later sign with Sony Records and continue to make hit after hit after hit. Though X Japan guitar player Hide would contribute to some of the composing, Yoshiki was primarily the backbone of X Japan, composing most of the music and most of the lyrics. Yoshiki utilized his piano skills with ballads like Say Anything and Endless Rain. Yoshiki was also famous for composing long singles. Most famously Art of Life, which is a 30-minute long speed metal song, and is a must-hear for any fan of music. Now X Japan is Yoshiki's baby, and I could talk all day about X Japan. In fact, I did in another video of mine a while back. But for now, let's talk about some of Yoshiki's solo work and side projects because he has quite a few of them. Unlike Hide's solo career, Yoshiki was a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. He arranged classical works for Kiss and has tons of credits for arranging, producing, and composing for other rock and J-rock bands. He even moved away from rock and roll and did some classical work with Eternal Melody, which was actually performed by the London Philharmonic, which in the classical world is a big deal. He produced a Duran Gray album titled Gauze, which is one of my favorite Duran Gray albums, and has even shadow composed for Baby Metal. You see that? Yoshifu Metal? Yeah, that's him. There are some Yoshiki projects that seem to perplex most fans. I remember hearing about when he joined Globe for about like a few seconds, and then they went on hiatus and came back without Yoshiki. There was also this super J-rock band called Skin. It consisted of Gakt, Sugizo, Miyavi, and Yoshiki. Juken, the Cozy Powell of bass guitar, was set to play bass for the supergroup. I remember hearing about this and being so hyped up. It was said that they were going going to take on the world and try to take on America's mainstream music scene. But then it just stopped. Very disappointing, and no one really knows why. Then there was the Violet UK. Now I never really understood what the Violet UK was supposed to be. It involves Yoshiki's electric side of composing and has a female vocalist. I do like the sound of it, but overall I'm just not sure what it's supposed to be. Check out this comment I found on one of their videos. Damn. Yeah, Yoshiki fans are pretty weird too. Yoshiki has quite a bit of solo success as well though. Most fans are somewhat frustrated with Yoshiki Classical, but I actually think it's a pretty unique take on some ex-Japan songs. I do wish that the violins and cellos had a little bit more melody lines though. He also wrote for the Golden Globes and has even written the Hello Kitty theme song. He actually owns quite a bit of recording studios in the United States. Now, there are some weird rumors about this guy, like how he's really a vampire. Some people consider him part of Taji's and Hide's deaths, but I just really don't believe any of those. I mean, they're just fans goofing around. Overall, I like Yoshiki a lot, not only as a composer, but as a musician and a person. He's definitely one of the best rock and rollers in the world, in my opinion. If I had to choose a favorite song that he was involved with, I'd have to go with X Japan's Dahlia. Dahlia just has everything that a great masterpiece rock song should have. I also like a lesser known X Japan song titled The Last Song. I love most of Yoshiki's music, but I find myself going back to those two probably the most often. Of course, if you haven't heard his music at all, a good one to start with is Silent Jealousy. Whenever I introduce someone to X Japan, I show them Silent Jealousy, and they just get blown away and become instant fans. So, what do you guys think about Yoshiki? Do you like him? Do you hate him? Is he always sexy, or is it all just plastic surgery? Leave it in the comments below. And also, what is your favorite song by Yoshiki? Leave that in the comments below too. And if you have another musician that you would like me to talk about, or do a first impression on, let me know in the comments below too. I have to give a shout out to Philip Karvosky, who requested Yoshiki. Thanks, Philip. This was a really fun video to make. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. This is Game Analyzer, signing off.